Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. When last we left off, we were here in Woodhurst. We were just outside of what's basically become the honeycomb hideout here. This is the farmhouse that the Thane is hidden in down in the basement, hiding out from all the Dunlendings who seemed to have swarmed into the town and taken over, killed his father. We were being sent. We had gone and talked to the soothsayer, and Herobrand has asked us to travel to the town of Brockbridge to help his son Herefara. Said, I sent my son Herefara south to the town of Brockbridge, for the bridge over the span is of great strategic importance. He was to help Thane Leofrith keep that point secure for the Thane. Well, some say his last days are nearly here. My son is strong and will help Leofrith defend the span. So we were to travel to Brockbridge, meet with his son. He will best know how to use us and how our companions can help. So we are going to head south again, because we've been there already before. We've discussed that. How it was that, we didn't find the Dunlendings actually here in town. And kind of skipped on past the place and ended up down there at Brockbridge and fighting the Dunlendings over in that part of town. And we'd already grabbed the stable master here, so we're good there. Let's see. Which way do we need to leave out? We're actually leaving out the correct direction. We've got two ways to go, Gapholt and Brockbridge, and it looks like we're actually headed toward the Brockbridge way. Wasn't that far. We haven't actually been down the road to get there, however, because we were kind of cutting across the country while we were looking for all the Dunlendings. And I think we were killing some orcs and stuff? Killing some riders? Wanting to say that was going on too. It has been a little bit. And they kind of start blurring into each other after a while. Alright, so let's head to Brockbridge. Speak to his son. There's the chasm. There's the rift that it crosses coming up. Is that a river canyon, perhaps? Yep, a big deep river chasm. I'm not sure how much of this is, you have arrived at Brockbridge and should now find Herefara. We shall do. Not sure how much of all this is repurposed from interesting. Pedestrian walk on the side, huh? How much of this has been repurposed from Trestlebridge and how much is not? Did we grab... Yes, we grabbed this stable master when we were here last too, didn't we? Alright, now... Does not look like he's up in the mead hall. No, he is not. He is out here. He is out here where we were out hunting the bands. Okay. Let's hop off and let's talk to him and see what's going on with Herefara. How much of the soothsayer story of you being invincible or won't die at the hand of will die at the hand of an orc is it that
a Dunlending raiding party has crossed the mountains?
How much of it do you believe? Oh, you got an encyclopedia entry for us to read. Rumors of Battle, Chapter 10. My father sent you to me. I am pleased he did, but I must confess that your abilities might be more needed elsewhere. My men report that something terrible has happened at the ford of the Ison, and no one seems to be able to give a clear account. Men are scattered all over the Westfold, and rumors of battle abound. Stay not at Brockbridge. Someone must learn what has befallen in the Westfold. Some say that the king himself is embroiled in the fighting, and may have ridden to Helm's Deep. A raiding party of Dunlendings has crossed the mountains, and they strike from cover of darkness. Their delight in killing the innocent is unrivaled. Their mark is a winged talon, and the fear of them is spread like fire in the brush. I hope to stand against them, but I've been unable yet to find them. They strike and then disappear, as they wield some skill born of magic. Before you leave, go to the mead hall and speak with the Thane. Leofurth is very weak, and the strain of rule has taken a heavy toll on his strength. It is the courteous thing to do. My father Hildebrand believes I rule in Brockbridge, and perhaps it seems so in action, but I would not presume to tread upon the authority of the Thane. Talk to Thane Leofurth in the mead hall of Brockbridge. That we can do.
Leoforth is very weak. I fear his last days approach.
That will do. And we know where the mead hall is, so let's go on up and chat with the Thane and see if he is really as weak and feeble as people think him to be. Lots of the cover art. Interesting. They've erected barricades here in the mead hall itself. Lots of the transitional art there that is heavily based on things burning down. Guis, the Brockbridge cook. Dunneth, the Thane's handmaiden. And Leofurth, Thane of Brockbridge.
You come from Edoras. What news?
Leofurth is very weak and cannot speak above a whisper.
You come from Edoras. What news?
You tell the Thane that the king has ridden to Isengard to wage war against Saruman's forces, and Leofurth's face slowly forms a rictus grin.
Good. Good. That is the strength I remember. My son, Hama, surely rides with the king. He is his most loyal.
Leofurth's voice fades into nothing, and his eyes seem far away. You nearly turn away when his eyes close, but then he speaks once more.
Help the king. The Riddermark must not fall. The Erlingus will.
You respectfully wait for more, but the Thane is lost in his own thoughts and no longer sees you. So talk to Nona by Brockbridge and talk to Horn by Brockbridge. Alright, that we can do. You keep helping him there. Hopefully he will make it through this night and get to see what comes next. Ooh. Pretty damn scary whenever they're converted the mead hall into a bastion of last stand here, a last defense. Brought in sandbags and flipped the tables. Alright, there is Nona, and there is Horn, and even Corridan.
Nona and Horn plan to find the Falcon Clan raiding party in the Stone Deans.
But Horn has charged me with another task. Has he now? But since you've charged him with another task, what have you got Corridan doing?
You spoke of the Falcon Clan to me not long after we first met.
I cannot deny their crimes, nor their evil, but I wish there was some other who could find them. Nona believes none other could track them, but surely their leader will make some error or some mistake that would lead to his downfall. No, you speak wisdom. If even one innocent life could be spared, it would be folly not to act. Nona believes she can find the Falcon Clan raiding party, and I think she is right. But I will not leave her again. This is a journey we will make together. I hope you understand, Gnarlo. I will see you again in time, but I cannot abandon Nona to this battle.
I know the mark of the Winged Talon. That is the sign of the Falcon clan.
They became enemies of my people when they accepted the coin of Saruman. They are enemies of yours as well, and of Horn's people. Herefara says he has not been able to track the raiding party. That is because he is the son of a horse lord, and does not know the ways of the wild. He is at home on the open fields, but the people of the Falcon are familiar with the high crag and the paths of the mountains. Lou Brennan can lead his people wherever he will, and Herefara will never find him. But I will. I can move silently and swiftly, and I can find the tracks no horse lord would recognize. We must part again, Gnarlo, for a time. I will see you again when the Falcon clan raiders have been defeated, but I cannot allow them to roam free unopposed. I must do this while I am still able. None others can. Talk to Corridan, alrighty?
Farewell, my friend. I have asked Corridon to look after you.
You should do the same for him. Keep him away from any Ents.
Farewell for now, my friend.
I must hunt the Falcon clan. It is my obligation. Alright, Corridan.
Horn wishes to go with Nona on her search for the Falcon clan.
And I cannot blame him. He believed he could set his love aside while they were apart, but it seems to my eyes that proved incorrect. Rather than send his heart away with her, he would rather walk beside her on her own journey until its conclusion. Of all the strange things that have been done for love, this is perhaps the least peculiar, a desire to not be apart. He charged me with one task in his absence. He wanted me to look after you, Gnarlo. As we continue southward into the Westfold in search of the king, I am to ensure you do not endanger yourself unnecessarily. I told him I would do my best. Our farewells have been said. When you are prepared to go, let us make for Helm's Deep in the Westfold. Horn says that this is where the king would ride if his march to war ran afoul of danger unexpected. Travel to Helm's Dyke, the entrance to the deep in the Westfold. Oh dear.
We are to make for Helm's Deep.
If things went ill, we would ride to Isengard. On the ride to Isengard. Alrighty, so we have got to go to Helm's Deep. Lordy, lordy. So, is it Westfold? Yep. We drive from the Westfold all the way through, and then it's down to Helm's Dyke. Alright, let's see if we can make that trip. From here, we are going to ride out to the southwest. Okay. So that's going to be this road, I believe. Let's take on off. I will meet you at the dike. Look for me in 3 days. I will ride from the east. White Hand Messenger. We don't need you right now. Papa, whoever else was dragging along behind us. A lot of the messengers on the road, aren't there? Alright, which way? Thinking we're gonna go that way? Yes, that way. Whoops. Keep double clicking it. Alright, that's a group of Dunlendings over there if ever I've seen one. So let's avoid their camp and head on down until we get to the border here. Ooh, that's one hell of a camp. That is one heck of a big ride over there. Alright. So they have come down from the mountains in force, haven't they? Let's continue on, see how many more messengers we have to swerve around as we travel down the road here. Actually, let's watch the little mini-map and see if they even show up as red dots as we go along. they're not a red dot, they're something that we could actually just pass on. They are just a story element, but I'm thinking that they would be. Look at the mountains ahead of us. Those are the white mountains up above. Ones that Helm's Deep are nestled deep within. One of the little narrow inlets. Little stream valley into the mountains. Helm's Deep, huh? That is going to be fun to come across. We got more roads up here. Is that a burnt? Where are we at as far as relation to the burnt town? Oh, it's way over there. We need to make a right here. Okay. Good thing we checked the map, because I was going to go straight on ahead. But we need to make a turn. Let's forward here. I keep forgetting we got the quest tracker turned on, and I could be following that arrow. As the mountains come in, so nice, so nice. Where they getting close to that. I bet the Gap of Eisen is over that way, because it looks like here's where the westernmost stretch of the White Mountains and the southernmost stretch of the Misty Mountains are coming together into this valley. See the burned out town ahead. More of Saruman's half-orc forces and all. Alright. Well, it looks like this episode last episode was mostly an instance. And this episode is going to be mostly a travel entry as we move on across the zones here. I'm wondering, I'm sure there will be a You've Discovered Helm's Dyke, but is it going to have an actual entry to it or not? Or is it just going to be You've Discovered Helm's Dyke? I mean, something as important as Helm's Dyke, let's hope that they actually give it a real entry into the deed entry when we come across it. New foe. Okay, the Martin Farmlands, Westfold Exploration. Let's pull that up. Let's go to Ravania, and let's go to Western Rohan. Westfold Exploration. Rohan is home to many great cities and settlements. You have discovered the Martin Farmlands. Alright, there you go, folks. There's the Martin Farmlands. With their yellow wargs roaming about. So that is Martin there. Town that is no more. Let us continue on down till we get to the dike. And as I said, let's hope the dike has a little bit more info about it. I mean, something this important and story-worthy. I can understand Martin, because Martin's not in the actual book, but Helm's Dyke is. Helm's Dyke's the actual place. It'd be like coming across Minas Tirith and going, this is Minas Tirith. It's a city. Alright, now entering the Deeping Cone. See the dike before us? Urukai, huh? Alright. Just Urukai, that's all they're known as. There's the Deeping Stream? Is that what it was called? And here is the dike. Good look at it here. Something that would be a pretty damn good fortification for... You have come to the Helm's Dyke at the mouth of the deep. Doesn't say you have discovered anything, though. Let's dismount. There's Gambling the Old. Oh. Remember the thing in the... At least the audio book where he talks about gambling. And says, gambling, it seems so wrong for a man your age to be in armor. And he was like, me and my armor have become good friends over the past few months.
You are here to help us?
You are here to help us. I know not what help you can give, but I will turn none away. Things have gone ill for us.
Right. What do we have?
Light armor? Medium armor?
Medium armor. We're getting into the heavy armor. Let's see. Vitality and agility. And agility and vitality. And fate. Agility, vitality, and fate. That definitely gives us both, more of both. That reverses them. And gives us a hell of a lot more vitality. And then evade and parry. What are we? Let's see. Agility. Vitality. Vitality is important. The agility is very important. And agility is about 600 points below. So which one gave us more agility? That would be the... it gives us 330. That one gives us 283, and that one gives us 476, and that one gives us 480. Let's go with the one that gives us the more agility and the fate and the physical mastery. We'll go with that one.
I welcome all able folk, but I count your aid double.
Ooh, Book 13, Chapter 1, The Lay of the Land.
The armies of Saruman assaulted the men at the fords of Eisen, and the survivors of the rout are scattered now across the Westfold. No one seems to know where Erkenbrand might be found. He is the lord of the Hornburg during times of peace, and would make his way here if he could. Theoden King turned aside from his course and made for the deep when the size of Saruman's force became clear. His army is already on the march, and will soon be here. I welcome all able folk willing to offer assistance, but I know you by reputation and count your aid double. Friends of yours already lend us what help they can. You will find them in the dike, throughout the deep, and at the Hornburg.
So follow the road that runs from Helm's Dyke to the Hornburg. Talk to Gimli at Helm's Dyke. And talk to Thurkatel along the road from the dike. Okay.
Speak with your friends and assess their moods.
Oh, well, there's Gimli. He wasn't hard to find.
Hail, friend! I knew that you would not miss this chance.
Hail, friend! I knew that you would not miss this chance. This dwarf has had enough of running and riding and talking. Now is the time for fighting, and quite a battle it is shaping up to be, too. The walls of this fortress seem very sturdy, and the men say that the deep has never been taken by an enemy. Aye, and it may not be taken this time either. But I tell you true that I will be a mite disappointed if my axe sees little use. There are orc necks to hew, and I am just the dwarf to do it. I expect you will find Legolas atop the fortress wall. He would prefer a long, nice view of the approaching orcs, whereas I want to see their ugly faces up close.
So follow the road that runs to the Hornburg. Talk to Gimli. I did that. Talk to Thurkatel along the road. Okay. See what we got here. There's the deep itself. Helm's Deep. A hell of a place for an army of 10,000 or so to be standing when they attacked, isn't it? There's Thurkatel. Good. Hasn't been any stable master or anything, have there? Maybe it's closer. Thurkatel sees you and hardly sends a greeting.
The Hornburg has never fallen. If fortune be with us, it never will.
This is the home of Erkenbrand, but none know what has become of him. Now the king will rely on the walls of the Hornburg and on the strong arms of his people. Will you help us defend the deep?
Thurkatel smiles when you say you will.
The Hornburg has never fallen, and if fortune be with us, I will one day tell my children and theirs that it still has not. Even many years hence, this night may be its gravest test, and ours. May we be found sufficient.
Find the guardhouse of the Hornburg, talk to Hama, and talk to Deerwine. Okay. Thurkatel is confident. Well, I'm happy that he is, but we've seen where that's gotten people before. Ooh, I hope you get to go in and see the glittering caves, too. That would be nice. Very nice if we got to see them. Let's look back toward the dike. Okay. Said the dike could be a pretty heavy defense for any other city in any other place in Rohan. And a lot of places outside of Rohan, the dike itself would be a pretty good defense. But the Hornburg is definitely impressive. Certainly impressive there. Wow. Was not expecting it to be a black stone. No, I was expecting something more akin to something much closer to the one in the movie, perhaps. But I'm sure, yeah, of course, they have to differentiate it. Even if Warner Brothers did buy it for a while here. A further example of the accursed gate. Further example of why it is you don't base things on other people's intellectual property that you didn't have to get license for, because imagine it's hard enough getting the intellectual property from the Tolkien estate every year, or Saul Zaintz, or whoever it is that owns the part that they do. Hama and Deerwine have a great deal to do to reinforce the guardhouse. But imagine, you know, getting a license for the likenesses of the movie and the actors in the movie from Warner Brothers, and then having to figure out what you're going to do whenever that license runs out, you know. Let's grab the stable master here.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
That's the one I wanted. This place kind of looks a little bit like an early version of Minas Tirith, perhaps, with its city within walls within walls. Let's talk to Deerwine.
We must hope Saruman's armies do not breach the dike. These doors will not hold long.
We are trying to reinforce the doors, but there is not enough sturdy wood in the deep. Everything is either rotted or dry and old. Brittle wood would do us no good. We must hope that Gambling and the other soldiers are able to keep the armies of Saruman from breaching the dike, and these doors will not keep them long. Hammer says I am wrong. I hope he is right.
Yeah, one may be correct.
The tides of war bring you once again to the King's shore, my friend.
No, this time I will not take your weapons, or keep you from seeing Theoden. Now I am pleased you are here, and hope your skill in battle is as great as I am told. Deerwine and I seek to reinforce the doors of this guardhouse, but it is to be hoped that the force of Saruman did not get this far into the deep. Still, it is good to be prepared. You tell of Hama of your meeting with Leofirth and Brockbridge, and the Dorwood sighs heavily. Thank you for the news of my father. He has been in poor health for many years, but I'm glad to know that he thinks of his son from time to time. He actually kind of looks younger than you know. He is often in my thoughts. If there is some measure of glory to be had in the hours ahead, I hope it is my lot to make Leofirth proud.
Find Legolas atop the deeping wall. Talk to Legolas and talk to Sigfith. Okay. Neither confident nor without hope, but he seeks to make his father proud. Alright, so how do we get atop the wall now? Love all the emblems of Rohan to be found about. Alright, I see stairs going up onto the wall. As I said, it does have kind of shadows of Minas Tirith here, doesn't it? Uh-oh. You back over there? You must be back over there, because you're not showing up here. Nice. Nice place. I like it. God, their guardhouses are bigger than my house. Alright, Legolas waves a greeting as you approach. Who is he waving a greeting to, though? That is the question. Nice. Alright.
You should ask the king if there is aught you can do.
We meet once more, my friend. If you seek battle, you have come to the right place. But if you seek a good rest or peaceful quiet, you should leave this ravine at once. If the numbers reported by Theoden's scouts can be trusted, this entire gorge will be filled with orcs before the moon is down. From here, I will have a clear shot upon any foe that seeks to cross the flat plain before the deeping wall. Every arrow I loose will spell death for one of our enemies. For which will I exhaust, my arrows or our foes? All of us will have our part to play during the coming night. Okay. And Sigfith.
These are the times that prove the strength of our hearts, are they not?
You are well met, my new friend. We are lucky to live in such times, for the opportunity to prove ourselves up to the task. Saruman's orcs will arrive at the dike, and if they are not defeated outright, they will push into the space before our walls. We will whittle down their numbers with arrows and with thrown spears, and they will shake their blades and gnash their teeth, and will have no chance but to turn away. The Hornburg has never been breached. It will not be breached tonight either.
Boy, there are a lot of people put their faith into prophecy and what has happened before, haven't they? Alright, talk to Theoden, Eomer, Theoden, yep. Looks like that's going to be a rather lengthy one because we have to travel and talk to them a couple of times. So we're going to call that one here. Standing here at the walls of the Hornburg, here in Helm's Deep, we will bring a little pipeweed to the south. We shall indeed. There we are. Alright, folks, there we go. I will be going back to work soon. My time away is over. I'm glad we got an episode up from each one of them. Next up will be, I think, Nomadan again. We will be seeing him, and I think he is. Oh yeah, he jumped off the horse. I was gonna say he was at Candace's camp in the shadow of Amon Sul. But we never actually made it to Weathertop, did we? We jumped off on that band of roving, were they warg hunters, perhaps? Something like that. And we were setting out to help them, so that's where we'll be next. Alright, folks. I do hope y'all have had a good one. I've been told that the Fall Festival is going on for another couple of weeks, so perhaps we will be able to get some of that done. And in the meantime, I hope y'all have a good one. Thanks for coming along. Hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. And we will see you then. Bye-bye.